Ooh-wee. Mm-mm-mm. Something about being faithful. Yes, he is. He's able to do. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is such a blessing to be back on air. Real Talk, Real Solutions with Dr. Dee Marie. I am your host, and I apologize for taking such a long break away from you. But I've been over on Facebook Live and on Be Live TV. But you know what? There's nothing like Spreaker Studio for you to kind of really get in and dig deep and have a chat. So please be sure to like and follow. And today's message is about faithfulness. Oh, faithfulness. And there's just something that when we think about faithfulness, we have to also think about to who are we faithful to? And that's the concept for today's message, is faithfulness. Faithfulness, faithfulness, faithfulness. So who are we faithful to? Why are we faithful? Who has the number one spot? What has the number one spot? As we begin to decide and make decisions on what we should do next. What's our next step? What's our next greater? What's our next move? And I'll have to tell you that I have been battling with this concept of faithfulness. And maybe you can identify with me about this. And if you can, please leave a comment in our message and let's share, let's enlighten and broaden the scope and space for other people. So first, let's define faithful. What is it? So I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to go again to my friend, the dictionary, so we can look at what does faithful mean. So faithful means the steadfast adherence of a faith or cause, a meeting of the party faithful, true, constant, steadfast, staunch, adhering firmly, and devoted to someone or something that elicits or demands one fidelity. This is a huge topic in a huge space, and we're not going to be able to cover all of it today. So today, on May 31st, 2017, we start our discussion on faithfulness. Let's start first on the who. So in this journey, let's start on to who are we faithful to? Who should we be faithful to? And here is going to be a bell ringer. We need to first be faithful to ourselves, to our dreams, to our causes, to our passions, to our purposes. And it's not about selfishness, it's about faithfulness. And I can tell you a little bit about my story, my journey, about faithfulness and why I believe God kind of gave me this to deal with or to talk about right now. It's because I've been battling. I haven't been faithful. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I have been so busy, so concerned, so emboldened and blazing and impassioned to help others achieve their goals and to pursue their dreams and their purpose, that I stopped being faithful to mine. I stopped being faithful to the one person that I should have been the most faithful to. And this is not about selfishness at all. This is about really pursuing, our passions and not getting bogged down. And throughout this journey, I had to kind of deep dive and say, what's the reason? What's the rationale? What's the problem? How come this sense of faithfulness has been eluding me? And why did I stop going right and decide to go left? Are you ready for it? I had to realize that there had to be some elements of fear, and that it's so easy to promote others and support others and cheer on others and relish and get excited about their successes and be there to support them in their failures, as it is to take the risk and take the challenge and step out on faith and be faithful to our own dreams. We tell ourselves things like, I'm going to do it later. We tell ourselves stories that it's not the right time, I don't have enough money. We tell ourselves that there's a host of other things, a host of other issues, a host of other to-do lists as to why we can't be faithful to our purpose and our passions. But they're all lies. They're all lies. And until we start owning up to the lies we tell ourselves, we're going to continue to be dishonest and unfaithful to the person that matters most, and that's ourselves. So what do we do about it? I'm not one to dwell in the pit. What are the solutions? How do we begin to shift into faithfulness and purpose to our dreams, our story, our successes, so that we can add more value to the others who depend on us more? That's what I'm meditating on. That's what I'm marinating on. And that's what I'm praying about, is the how. But guess what? It had to happen first. The decision to say, I will choose me. I will make a conscious effort and be intentional about achieving my goals and my dreams. I will take the necessary steps to make it happen. I had to do that. I am doing that. I'm in process. So today, on this Wake Up Wednesday, and I thought, I want to do a speaker studio. I don't want to do a Facebook Live. I just want to talk. I want to talk it out. Because I sat here trying to figure out what's my next step. And even in doing the thought or the desire or the need to support and be there for someone else kept jumping in my head. And I said, quiet. So what is the first thing that we need to do? Is to tell our minds and our brains in that frenzy of activity to be quiet. Shut up. Shut up. Get focused. It's about you. And it's okay to be about you. Stop pursuing someone else's passion and dreams and relishing in their success. You were placed on this earth and you have a gift. You owe it to manifest that. So once you make that decision to be quiet, it's when in the quiet that the storms and the tribulations and the pounding occurs, because then we have to get honest. So once we get quiet, we have to get honest about why we're stalling, why are we playing, why are we playing with our lives, why are we not leveling up, why are we not living, existing, and thriving in the space that God created us to thrive in? Why are we making excuses? Why is our faith operating at a diminished capacity? Why? And when we get honest about that, when we get clear about that, that's when transition and shift begins to happen. So the very first thing we have to do in defining and getting reconnected on being faithful to our goals, our dreams, our mission, our passions, our purpose, so that we can have prosperity, is number one, we have to get quiet. Be quiet and listen. Hear what God is telling you. So that, number two, you can get honest as to your why. You have to do that. If you stay in a pit, in a place of denial, you'll never have a full manifestation and realization of everything you're supposed to be and have. You won't. You won't have it. And then you need to move. The third thing is you need to move. You need to start to take those steps that are very necessary steps to get to your next greater. Because only you can do it. Other people can get excited for you. They can maybe even want it for you. But you have to do it. And you have to want it more than they do. And you have to need and want and crave success more than you fear the failure. And what I like to share is that you need to start looking at failure differently. So it didn't work. So what? Now what? Are you going to keep talking about why it didn't fail? Or are you going to say, okay, here's what I can do to try to make it work? And before we start stepping out, and which will be the next session, into faithfulness to others, is that we have to get focused and clear about being faithful to ourselves. I just wanted to give you a Power 15, and that's what I'm going to start on Wednesdays, is the Power 15. 15 powerful minutes on Wake Up Wednesday to get you moving and shifting. And so our topic for the month of June, as we round out this last day of May, is faithfulness. What does that mean? What does it look like? How do we get it? How do we achieve it? How do we teach others how to be faithful to us when we haven't been faithful to ourselves? That's going to be a recurring theme, so marinate on that. So, how do we do it? We have 3 steps in this Power 15 today. 3. Number 1, be quiet, get quiet, be still. Listen, hear. Go somewhere, find a space, find a place where you can be quiet and hear. And hear from God. Because if you've been praying about it, the gift and ability is already in you. But you may be listening to, and you need to hear the how. And so you need to get quiet to do that. And you don't need to hear naysayers' voices and other people to tell you. You know. And then get honest. Get honest with yourself. And you stay and exist and persist in a place and state of denial, you will never get true clarity. You'll never begin to see the manifestations that are waiting for you. You won't. You won't do it. I promise you, you won't. And then what? And then get moving. Take the next step. Do something. Try. Even if it's not exactly what you thought it would be, at least you tried. Because, see, God is going to be faithful to you. But you need to start being faithful to you. Because I'm going to tell you, God is able to do. Anything is possible. You can depend on Him even when you can't depend on you. And He'll be closer to you than any friend. So, choose to be faithful. Choose to say, I will. I will for me. Choose you. And start being faithful to you. And next time, we are going to start talking about how we could be faithful to others so that we can grow. This has been Real Talk, Real Solution with Dr. Dean Marie. And it has been a pleasure to talk with you today. I look forward to your comments. Please share this message with anyone and everybody that needs to hear it. Change happens intentionally when we get intentional about the change. Because
whether you realize it or not, the only thing constant is change. And growth is the one thing that's optional. So choose to grow. Choose to look at failure differently. Choose to embrace life. Choose you. Because you have a very unique and special gift. And the world is waiting on you. That has been the Power 15 on this Wake Up Wednesday. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Dina Marie, live on Spreaker, Real Talk, Real Solutions. Check you next Wednesday.